else has their strap or whatever we need. All right, great. Here we go. This is it. Nice big inhale, everybody. Welcome. Good timing. Yep. Shoulders are going to roll down into the back with your nice big exhale. Another nice big inhale. You kind of lift them up and then exhale. Send them back by squeezing them together and sinking them down towards your tailbone. And then we'll do that a few more times. Welcome. Come on in.
Hi. What was it? I'm sorry. What was the issue?
Oh, in that toilet, in that bathroom right there, we think it's running.
Oh, okay.
The toilet itself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Another big inhale. Sorry about that. And another big exhale. All right, let's go ahead and do a little rotation through our head and neck. So you're going to keep squared up shoulders, squared up hips. Float your hands up, palms up on one side, down on the other. And you're going to rotate and look at the side that has the palm up. Look all the way around to side number 2 and then rotate them. So look at that palm here. Let's continue that a few more times. Just giving a little movement through that neck and that rotation through those shoulders. One more here. Inhaling and exhaling, please. And then over we go on this side. Wonderful. Go ahead and look forward. Both hands are up. Both thumbs are facing back. Go ahead and reach to the back of the room. And then when you come all the way around, give yourself a nice big hug. And so it's my right elbow facing and on top. Now we're going to open up again. Big inhale, palms up, thumbs back to the back. Open through your sternum, the middle of your chest. And then try and reverse. And let's do that another 2 more times. Nice big inhale, reach back. So hopefully each and every time gets a little bit bigger with that nice big inhale and that big stretch, especially right here, opening, palms up, thumbs back. And I finish with my left on top. I'm going to stay in this nice hug, so you're hugging yourself. And then you're just going to reach those elbows down towards whatever you can, your lap, the floor. And then just relax and release your hands so that those arms just fall down. And then from that upper back, you just stand yourself up or sit yourself right back up wherever you are. Beautiful. So we're trying to maintain this nice tall torso from your tailbone up through the crown of your head and nice and neutral in the rest of your body position. And one of the ways we're going to continue with that is to take your head, think of your chin staying at the same height, rotating a quarter of the way, and then coming down to the center of your collarbone on the side. Hopefully you feel it on the opposing side, the connection of this side of your neck. So as you lift back up, there's your inhale. We're going to stay looking in that direction and then exhale right back down again. Let's go ahead and lift it up. We're going to look forward. We're going to drop our ear down toward that bony structure on the top of your shoulder. I'm going to give you 2 more options. You can reach up with the same side hand. Do not yank. Just let the weight of your hand guide that head down a little bit further, possibly. And then the opposite arm can also come out. So now you have this long line here, because this is the side that we're trying to stretch a little bit more. Okie doke. Bottom arm comes in, top arm releases, the head lifts, and then you release it back down, and we switch to side 2. So we look over, drop the chin down. You'll notice I'm going very slow and conscientious. Whenever as we breathe it up, whenever we're doing anything through our neck, we're very, very conscientious about that. As we exhale right back down, chin towards that collarbone. Breathe it right back up. Beautiful. Look forward. Drop it down. You can just do that. You can add here. Don't yank it, please. You can add this one, possibly any of those. In comes the hand, off the head, up you go, and then back around you go. So beautiful. Now we're going to take that chin. We were bringing it around lots of different ways. Now we're going to bring it down towards the center of your chest. Without jamming it into your chest, it's just reaching down. Now we're doing 2 of your neck muscle groups together at the same time as you breathe right back up on your inhale. Look forward. Open your mouth, exhale, and reach that chin back down. Awesome. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, open that mouth. Come on down. Since we're down here, let's pretend like your chin is a pencil and you're going to draw a half circle across the front of your chest. Back and forth, slow and steady. Always to the front. You never drop your head back. And do this. Wonderful. Come to the center of your chest. You're right here again. Lift it right back up. Okay, our last and final one. Lacing your fingers together right here back behind your head. So think of it as where your skull is coming towards your neck. You're going to envision your chin pushing your head back into your hands. Stretching out that neck a little bit more from the front. And then dropping those elbows down towards your lap without yanking your head. It's just another guiding. Come back up again, another big inhale. Chin is going back, so the head is going back into those hands. Awesome, back down we go. Last and final one. Open up nice and big. Elbows go out to the side. Head goes back into your hands. Press back. That should feel really good. And then we're going to bring it back down and release and just drop those hands in. So now we should be in those shoulder blades through the spine, neck, and head rolls right back up. So we're slowly getting a little deeper into that spine. Our next set, we're going to go through those side obliques, so nice and neutral at your hips, whether you're standing on the ball or seated. You can reach up towards the ceiling without shifting your hips here. And then come over to one direction. We're right about down here on those side obliques. And then we're going to smoothly come back up, reach a little higher up to the ceiling. And then we're going to come over again. This time I'm hoping you come up a little bit higher into your upper ribs right here. And you do a little bit of your breathing into those ribs. We go even higher for this last and final one. Up, up, up. Inhale. Exhale, neutral across those sits bones, those hips. Wonderful. You can sit yourself back up that way. Or if you like to walk yourself around, whether you're touching the floor, just walking your hands through the air. And then just curling up from those shoulder blades. Roll those shoulders. Head is back up. And we go to side number 2. Always making sure neutral across those hips. Up you go. Over you go. First set, right about down here on those side obliques. Stack it back up. Get a little higher. Think of this nice lateral flexion over here, but you are also really attempting to get up into these ribs right here. Back up. We're trying to not only breathe into them as we come over right into that rib cage, but spread them open. Those ribs have very small muscles in there. We're trying to get a little space in between them. And once again, you can go back up the way we did those first 2 times. Or you can walk yourself around through the air or the floor and then curl yourself up. So we're dipping a little bit lower into those shoulders and a little bit even lower into those ribs down here and that spine area. Okay, here we go. We are going to add a little bit more, putting those 2 together. So we call it the nice neutral arm position. One arm is going to go up like it was before. And this time, if you can, rotate and look up at your palms. So now we're adding not only the side obliques, but those heads and necks and shoulder girdles. We come back to neutral. There's your inhale. Here's your exhale. However, if any of this gives you any kind of pain or deep uncomfortableness, that's what you leave out. Try it again. One more nice big inhale here. One more nice big exhale right there. Sits bones are equal. Hips are neutral. Eyes look up if possible. Wonderful. Back to neutral. All right, from neutral, we're gonna go into a big V. This is where we bring in our imaginary rubber band. So you can grab the lightest rubber bands possible in your hands, imagine, and then track back behind your body. Wonderful, right back towards that tailbone with those elbows, and then we reach up again. Second set, a little thicker. You have to put a little more oomph into it, a little more effort. Wonderful. Are you feeling those shoulder blades come in and squeeze? Lovely. Then back up. It's the thickest set. So really a lot of movement from you, a lot of resistance that you're imagining, bringing those elbows right on in and down, and then poof, they go up, they get a float down, and you go right into a beautiful shoulder circle right there. So as they come around, you start to float those arms a little bit more. Arms should feel weightless. They're just helping guide those shoulders to come around. Have a ball and socket in our shoulder girdle area, so we're trying to get as much movement as possible. Our next set, you're going to not reach to the back. You're going to come within the plane of your body right here. Go ahead and rotate those fingers back, up, and the thumbs back. That kind of was what I meant. Now, thumb down, palms back, and then lace them together. Here's option one, sitting up tall and lifting. Here's option two, dropping your head down, whether you're on the ball, on a chair, or standing, or on a mat, lifting your knuckles a little higher. Please stack yourself up, probably from your tailbone by now, through that spine. Release your hands. This time, lace your fingers together. Now look at your palms and push them away. When you do that, drop your head between your ears. Take a big inhale here while you're like this. When you're ready, you're going to exhale. Slowly bring the palms to the center of your chest. And then finish that exhale by pushing down. You're lengthening up nice and tall here in your torso as you push down. And then that's just a nice way to go ahead and stretch out those shoulders a bit. We're going to continue with the shoulders. This is when you grab your strap or band or whatever you have handy. So if it's your own personal strap at home, or you bring one in with you, or whatever, you have your scarf, you can put little marks on it so that you know where to put your hands. Although, as we've been doing this throughout the months, maybe you start to narrow it out. But however, having said that, find about a little bit more wider than bent knees. My knees are pretty open here. We're going to take it up, straight arms, back, and down. So when you get to the point that your arms are not straight, and this is an example, you kind of have to do that maneuver. Widen out the stance a little bit more on your straps until you can get to the point where you can bring it right back around through that ball and socket of your shoulders and forward. And then we try that a few more times. So if you need to reset where you are on your strap or your band, if you have a band that you can open a little wider, try that. But the goal eventually is to find a point on this strap or band that you get that beautiful full range of motion in those shoulder sockets with those nice straight arms. And then we're going to finish this one up all the way back and around, and then just leave it right there in front of you, right there. Perfect. Excellent. So we're going to continue moving a little bit with this one arm straight out from your shoulder. This is when the movement is not only fingers, palms, and wrists, but up into your forearms. And I say that because I can't always see your arms out there. It's just as a reminder that we are working through our forearms right here. So you're doing some kind of movement that hopefully engages your brain a little bit, your mind, as well as this movement of the hand, arm, up through your wrist. So give me a stop sign right there with your hand. reach around. You're holding right here at this seam, so we're not just bending back our fingertips. Excellent. Then we do it 2 more times. So second set, it's up to you. If you don't like what I'm doing and you want to add something different to it, please feel free to do that. Just make sure you're up into those forearms. And then we give ourselves another stop sign, reach around again, and as gently as you can, come back with that. And then our last and final, we have played the piano in the past. We do circles with our fingers. Here's my pointer finger, 4 times in one direction, 4 times in the opposite. Middle finger 4-ish. Reverse, reverse. Ring finger 4, 3, 4. And then we try and reverse it, 2, 3, 4. Pinky finger, yuck. And then reverse 2, 3, 4, and then go into that thumb, and then reverse 2, 3, 4. Awesome job, everybody. Flip your palm, reach your fingertips towards the floor, reach on around. So this is probably the most intense of those stretches. So we leave it towards the third and final one. Then it just so happens to have your palm up, and then you can put your strap right there in your palm. Reach to the ceiling, or reach back, or reach around with the opposite hand if you need to. Some people have so much flexibility and range of motion they can creep those fingers together. Some of us need help and just the guidance of your strap or your band, creeping the bottom fingers up towards the top fingers. What we're trying to do right here is the back of your arm, where your tricep area is, a little bit of your bicep as well, but that's where the stretch is. And then we go ahead and release the bottom one. The top one comes around just to get it back in front, and then we just draw it all the way back around. So you should feel this through the shoulder blades in the back, across the arm in the front, staying off your elbow, please. There we go. And then that reach. So we try to stay off, pressure onto certain joints, and that's what I hope. Okay. Shake, 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 shake. Side number 2. Here we go. We float it right out. So we did lots of different things. This is our ocean wave, our queen's wave, whatever it is you think of it as you circle around. Make it trickier for yourself a little bit. And then give yourself a stop sign. So when you're giving yourself that stop sign, or those arms are straight out, we're trying to remind ourselves to lower our shoulders down. Perfect. And then we're going to go into some kind of movement here. Maybe a little slide action at that wrist. Stop sign again. And then our last and final fingers, 2, 3, 4, reverse. And it depends on the arm sometimes, or your dominant side, I should say. 3, 4. There's that ring finger, not so good at the ring finger. That's okay. Back we go around, 3, 4. And your little pinky finger, try and add that little pinky in there. Reverse, reverse. Here's our last and final. It's the thumb. Hopefully we have a little bit better control with our thumbs. And then a reverse direction of that one. Okay, so remember, we always palm up at this point. This is our third one. So when you come down with your palms, you're trying to keep your shoulders out of your ears. You're trying to just reach those fingertips down a little bit more. And then set yourself up nicely for your strap or your band or whatever you might have if you need it. Up to the sky, oops, right down in between those shoulder blades. The opposite arm can slowly reach around and start to creep up. And most of us have one side that is a little bit more flexible, have a little bit more range of motion than the opposing side. Fantastic. So I always say release the bottom and shoot this one around and just go ahead. You can hold on to your bicep area, you can hold on to your forearm area, whatever, just gently brings it across the plane of your body from the shoulder blades in the back to the fingertips in the front. And then it's a lovely way just to release down and kind of get that final wiggle, 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 shoulder release all the way down through your side obliques, all the way down to your body. So today we are going to go ahead and extend out. If you are on your ball, you can, without bending your knee up, still extend one leg out. So you'll maintain one bent knee for stability, and then you'll extend the opposite leg out at some kind of an angle. Yep, just like that, but still on the floor. So what we do when we're here, whether you're seated like I am or seated on the ball or even a chair if you're out there, you do a nice big inhale just like I am. Keep the arms as close to the ears as possible for a flat back stretch over the extended out leg. That means we're hovering above that leg. Our arms are still by our ears. That makes it a flat back stretch. And then from flat back, then we can round our spine and dive down towards that foot. And then when you're ready to stack up your spine and sit up nice and tall again, whether you're on the ball, another big inhale. Ladies on the ball out there, watch this first set. Hinge only at your hips. Keep your arms by your ears. Way up here. It's almost like you're reaching up towards the ceiling where it meets the wall. And then we round our spine and roll a little bit lower down towards that foot, shin, knee, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. And then roll back up. Last and final. Big inhale, sit up nice and tall, long through your torsos, just a hinge in your hips, a little bit of endurance here because you have to maintain that hold, everybody. 3, 2, 1, and then it's kind of that rounding down over that extended out leg, no matter where you are. Your lower back, it's a little bit of rounding to it rather than flat. Then we stack it right back up. We're sitting up nice and tall. While you're on the floor, we do a hug. Those of you that are on the ball and want to bring a leg up, only if you are able to maintain the balance. If you are not able to maintain the balance, you do not lift that knee up to your chest. Because we will be moving on pretty rapidly through this set. You can start to organize your set in the opposite direction. We are going to go from our little hug position, if you're here on the floor, to a cradle. Would you like to try and cradle? Yeah. Roll over backwards. And then I'm going to have you bend your straight leg up, place that knee on it. Ladies, if you want to hold it down very low, you can attempt that. Once again, you have to have some of your stability. So if you want to keep the foot on the floor to do that, try that. We'll join you in a moment for side number 2. After we come out of this big hug right here. Everybody can extend legs out. Your feet will be flat. You can still tap, 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 tap those legs. That's a nice little pat that reminds you to loosen up the back of those legs as well as the front. That means all the way from your feet through your shins. The back of your shins are your calves. The front of your legs are your quads. And we want to loosen up those hamstrings back there so we can get a bigger extension when we drive up the other leg. So you need to remember which leg was bent and which leg was straight if you're on the ball. So do the opposite of that. And then we'll breathe ourselves up nice and tall. Remember, this is our flat back stretch. So think arms by ears, palms face each other. Hinge at your hips only. Reach, 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 reach. Dive down when you're ready. Round your spine. You can reach down a little bit more towards your knee, your shin, your ankle. Stack up that spine. Tick, 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 tick. Big inhale. Big exhale, over we go. Lovely endurance right here. So pause a moment. And then round down when you are ready. Stack it right back up. Finish this last and final one. Inhale, please. Open your mouth, exhale. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Take it on down. When you're ready, round out. And stack it right back up. So now we're all in a tall seated position. I'm going to bring this leg up and over into a hug. Remember, that's up to you as to what you want to do with your hugs or not hugs. From your hug, you can go into a cradle, possibly. Cradles just mean a little bit of a rocking sensation. We're just getting a little bit deeper here. Those of you that are on the ball, if the next time you come and you want to be on the ball and then push the ball up against a chair or the mirror, you have a little bit more stability because it is kind of anchored up onto a surface, and possibly do some of these moves or go into a chair from your ball. So here we go to finish up into your hug, whether you're hugging everything or back behind one thigh and pulling it up a little closer towards your chest, your decision to make. And then we finish just a big release and then a big shakeout. Okay, so typically what we do is move on to a sideline position, which is what I think we would like to do today. Those of you that don't want to go back onto the floor can come up to the wall and do some of our sideline where you put your bodies up against the wall. Those of you that are going to join me on the floor, we are going to be all stacked up on our shoulders, hips, knees, ankles. So if you are going up to the wall, you will make your body stacked up to the mirror instead of to the floor. Perfect. If you're here with me or up against the mirror, you're going to take from the mirror, you're going to take that outside arm and bring it to that top knee if possible. And then back out. It's same side, but it's the one that's on the outside. And then we're going to try that again. This is our bow stretch. Beautiful. And then back out. And then let's try that again. Draw your belly button in. Feel as if your belly button is going back to your spine. And then back out and reach way back behind you. Fingertips, toes back behind the other leg. Fantastic. All right, so we are going to go around the world. So we're going to stack up those legs. Those of you that are on the floor only will bend up the knees. Those of you that are up against the mirror will not bend up your knees, but we'll send your arms straight out at shoulder height, right up against the mirror, just like we're doing it against the floor. You're going to take your top hand, you can use your pointer finger or your middle finger, and then make a big circle. So think of it as touching the wall or the floor the best your body is able to. Once it goes past your ear, that's where you start to feel a nice rotation of your upper body, shoulder blades to the floor or the wall, chest to the ceiling or out from the wall. And then we finish that big circle all the way around until we come to the point where we're back to palm to palm. And then we can reverse that circle. So now I'm going to go down towards my knees. Once I go past my hip is when you get a rotation of the upper body. So if you're on the floor, your knees are still side by side. Awesome. Finish that circle all the way up and around. All right, we're going to finish by going to side number 2. So I'm just going to either rotate my body around. You that are in class can just face the opposite direction, or you can rotate your body with me. I do this so I can see you instead of seeing the mirror. And everybody flips to side number 2. That's all that you need to know. We start with a stacked up body, shoulders, hips, knees to your ankles. Belly button is coming back to your spine. You're bringing the elbow right in front of the body to the knee. And then you're sending the hand past the arm that's on the floor and past the leg that's on the floor. Nice long straight bodies. Stay balanced while you tap that knee and elbow together and then reach. And then one last time, bring it all the way in, give it a nice little tap. That's a lot of balance and control right there, my friends, as you reach all the way back with it. Fabulous. Those of us that are on the floor are going to draw our knees up to a chair position, standing nice and tall if you're against the mirror or the wall. Hands do come straight out from your shoulders, palm to palm. Now take that front hand or the top hand and start to make a big circle. The arms stay straight, the pivot is through the shoulder. You feel that rotation of that upper body. You pause when those hands are opposing each other, 180 degrees. And then you finish that circle all the way around by your hips, down your thighs, jump off your knees, palm to palm. And then we're going to go ahead and reverse it. This time aim down towards your knees, slide up those thighs, jump off those hips, figure out that rotation. Once you can, hold that 180-degree portion of it, enjoy it. And then finish it with that big, huge circle coming all the way around. Fabulous, everybody. You are back to palm to palm. And now what we're going to do is, if you're on your floor with me, push yourselves up carefully to a kind of seated position. We're going to come into a standing position. You'll come off the wall. We have lots of different ways we can go from the floor to the standing. One of those ways is go into hands and knees position and bring one of your feet forward. So you have a bent knee, you can place that hand there. You can use a chair if it's handy. Add the other one to it, 2 hands on those knees and finish your curl. If you're okay being down here, tucking those toes and walking back and then rounding yourself up, that's another option. You need to do slowly, whatever you're doing in that roll up, until you're standing up nice and tall. And then what we're going to do here in class or at home is get rid of your mat and bring a chair into place, or if you're at home and want to go up against a wall for some stability, just go ahead and find that area for yourself. See if this will help get me into the frame. Helps for some reason. All right, so once you get yourself organized, let's see if I can find mine. We're looking good out there, everybody. All right, I think I'm pretty much within the frame of the camera. I see everybody's got their stuff. You are comfortable while you're organizing yourself. So you have your shoulders right down to the center of your hips, right down to the center of your knees, ankles, and basically up to your second toe, not necessarily to your big toe. And then what we try and do is do a nice roll up onto the balls of our feet, spreading those toes, and then rolling yourself right back down, trying to maintain that nice neutral foot position, both going up. And then coming back down. Please don't have to do that. And then coming back up as I try and look around. I'll stop that. And then coming back down. So we're preventing some of that rotation outward and inward with our feet, and we're trying to strengthen through those tendons and muscles that we have, a whole bunch of them in our feet and ankles. So now we're going to go ahead and do our movements where this requires lots of our balance and control come into play. So what I'd like you to do is go ahead and pick the side, that's the counter to me, bring it up so that now we have our knee in that nice bent knee position, almost parallel to the floor, and then roll your foot back down just like we rolled it before. So we go from our toes, ball of our foot, through the arches to your heels. Then we lift it up again, lifting. And then exhaling it back down. So you'll notice I added a little breathing there. Maybe you can add that too when you're ready. Inhale. And then exhale. Perfect. So we are going to move on a bit. This time when we inhale and lift your knee up, bring it back and touch your toes. So just get that position through these hip flexors down to that big toe. Next one is a lift. Yep, watch your equipment. And then straight back behind you. So our next set is to roll through our feet. So we're going to lift up, inhale. Once your big toe touches, roll through that foot until your heel settles down. You have a bend up in the front knee. You have a straight leg and a stretch in the back leg. So you put the weight back into that front bent knee and that heel and lift up that foot and that knee. And then touch and roll. Beautiful. Our next set is to go into our runners. So I'm going to just make sure that you have your chair where it needs to be. So this is my leg that I'm working with to go into my runners. This is the position you need to have your chair. So as we lift up that knee, just like we did before, this time we are going to bend and hinge at your hips. That way, if you need to put your hand on the top of the chair, you got it. Then you can bring that knee right back up, and then you can roll that foot right back down. That's why I wanted to show you where the position of that chair should be. Once again, inhale, hinge at your hips, point your big toe up to the ceiling if you can. Bring the knee right back up to its starting position, roll your foot back down until your heel settles. One last one of our runners. So think of it like this. On your mark, get set, take off and go. Very nicely done. Everybody's ready for the Olympics on Friday. Let's go into our warrior. So we did a nice bend. Now we do a nice straight leg. So from the hinge at the hips, we're going to come over. I'm going to use my hands this time to reach back. You can hold on to your chair because it's right there if you need to. Then we come out of those beautiful long straight lines and stand up nice and tall. We can always add on another move. I am going to reach back with my two hands where that leg is going. I'm going to lower my big toe to the floor. Straight leg, lift that leg up. Come out of your hinge with the straight leg, stand up tall. Finish this up, one last one. You keep going on your own levels, whatever you want to do. Breathe would be a beautiful thing. Tap that big toe down, possibly that's an option. You're still maintaining those long straight legs as you come up into your standing position. And then we always like to finish it with a bowler's lunge. You don't have to move your chairs. I'm just doing this for you to show you once again. This leg is going to be the one that's going to bowl with me. So I'm going to send it out here. I'm going to keep my hand right here. When the leg goes back, the arm goes forward. So we swoop back and send that ball right on down that bowling lane. Then you come up and tap your toe right there. Or you can put your entire foot down. Our second level is to do the same thing. I'm going to have you watch that knee of yours up front as it comes back. This knee is trying to be very controlled here. And then you come up from it and either tap or hover. That's where we add a little extra step in there. And our last one, once it comes back, you can go through the tap or the hover and then bring your knee around to that front position where it started. Roll through your toes until your heel settles down. And then we're back exactly where we started. And we can go on to side number 2. Beautiful. So remember, now I'm going to be working this leg. So this is where I would put the chair in opposition so my hand can go boom, boom, boom right down there. All right, we ready out there? Yep, good. All right, lifting. This is our start. Put your foot right back down beside the other one in a roll. Lovely. Let's try that again. Another big inhale. Think of your breathing, please. And exhale. So you'll notice arms go in opposition. So it's my left knee coming up. My right elbow is bending. If I was walking, that's how you would walk pretty functionally. Maybe not so slow, but Similar. This time, once you lift, let that foot go back. Just tap that big toe back. Feel a nice stretch in your flexors right there. Lift back up on your inhale. Come on back on your exhale. Don't worry about those arms. Don't worry about those arms. Just worry about those legs. This time we're going to roll that entire foot. Those toes connect all the way through the heel, up that calf. You should feel that in that calf. Now push off that front heel. Do that one more time. Inhale as you do that. Exhale, touch and roll on your exhale. Wonderful. All right, you are set up to run. So we're going to go into our runner's pose. So remember, think of it as a lift, inhale. Exhale, reach that big toe to the sky. Inhale, lift the knee back up. Exhale, roll the foot back down to where it belongs. Let's try that again. On your mark. That's set. Take off. And go. All right, just one more time. We can do this. Tighten up is a good way to think of it. Tighten up that core area. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift it. Exhale, lower it. Perfect. All right, now we're going to straighten up the leg this time. Same kind of hinge, right across those hips, trying to stay as neutral as possible. So it's all about the big toe in the back. So if you come over, if you're a toe pointer, your toenail is facing the floor. If you're a flexor of your foot, the toe itself, the big toe is facing down, and then you come right back up. So that's my best hint of how to keep those hips nice and neutral. So let's try that again. And remember, we've added on, where you come to your hinge. You could possibly tuck that toe down, lift it back up, and then come out of that nice straight body position. And then we didn't even talk about this last time. Hands can be down by your hips, or you can send them forward by your ears. Tap your toe, that's your option. Bring it right back up. And then everything comes nice and straight into that tall standing position. And our last and final leg is our bowler's lunge. So remember, just watch your equipment or your water bottle back there. We're going to swoop that leg back while the arms come forward. Your knee is right over this ankle. Your eyes are looking down the lane to see where the ball went. And then you come back up with a touch or a hover. We'll try that 2 more times. Take it back. Bring it to that touch or that hover as you stand up tall. And then we'll try that 1 more time. Bring it back. This time from the touch or the hover, you're going to bring your knee forward, remember? Bring it forward if you can. Tuck it up there. Hold it. Count 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll your foot right back down, side by side. Oh my goodness, right where we started. Oh, perfect. It's like it was planned. Who would have thought? All right, a couple of big inhales, everybody. I'm going to show you your standing bow stretch. I try and show it to you every once in a while just as a reminder. So right hand up, right toes or foot. There you go. Let's put it this way. Same side fingers that are up, toes are out. Then take that leg back behind the other one and plant it the best you can. Then lean into your hinge. So basically, either switch arms. So think of it this way, fingertips, armpit, hip, and back heel. So it's like a bow to the back. And then this arm can do whatever it wants to do. A lot of people like to do this. I like to put it right here on my hip and then look down at my disappearing elbow. All right, here's where we come up. Arms first, legs second, left and left. That left one is going to swoop back behind the right one. Let me get this out of the way. And that's when we can go into that big, long stretch. So whatever way you want to cinch it. Great outer hip stretch. Then we can come back up here. Big inhale. We're not done yet. All right, this is fun. We all have our chair handy. If you're out there in Zoom land and you have a chair handy or a wall handy, it might come into play. You're going to bring these hands down. Center of your chest. Chair handy. So bring your chair handy if you need to just shimmy your body over to it. Take one leg out. This time, instead of going behind the other leg, it's going to come up to it. Possibly cross across the ankle. Possibly come up to the knee. That's why we have our friend here. Then we're going to hinge at our hips. So focus, 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 focus. Comes down underneath you. This is all about any kind of adjustment you can make. You can have your legs closer to the floor. You're hinging at your hips. You're getting that final long body stretch on side number one, that is. Then you're coming up slow. Everything slow and controlled. That leg goes down. We go big inhale. Coming down again, center of your chest. I always say, heel of your palms together. Fingertips are soft. This sets into your chest and makes like a nice base for your upper body. And we take out side number two. All right. So come in, stay low, and then hinge. You can cross if you want to in your hinge. You can start to slide the foot up, the ankle up, whatever you want to do as you adjust yourself in this big hinge. Your body is in a fold. You're releasing and relaxing, trying to stay balanced. Coming up slowly by following the line of focus from the floor to in front of you. Then putting that leg as close down to the floor as possible, Come right back down. This is our last and final one, everybody. Right to your heart, your center, your release, and then out we go.